Mr. DJ Rose, Verkeezy, and C's. Welcome you to the No More Black Tears podcast.
Black tears that's heaven sent. Barack the first black president. I love my black skin. I love walking in black excellence. Black power, let's represent. All black, that's evident. I'm sure MLK and Malcolm X both didn't die for the hell of it. Strap a seatbelt, go and sell the land. What makes you think that we would sell our land? We wouldn't sell out now. What makes you think that we would go ahead and try to sell out then? No more black tears, black on black kids. Love as is, love with passion. Paying black bills, learning black skills, making black meals. Black is backing. Big shout out to Fred Hampton. I'm black and proud like I'm James Brown, but I ain't doing no acting. My people here from the motherland. This podcast now active.
No More Black Tears, you know what I'm saying? We back in the building. We got Nicole, we got Verkeezy. Shout out to C's. Shout out to MG, shout out to D Will, shout out to Juice Man. It's me, Mr. DJ Rose. And we do it for our people and we do it for the people. What we talking about tonight, fellas and lady?
Hey man, so speaking of the people, man, people are always trying to find happiness, peace and everything. So Jada Pinkett, I guess she got a book coming out. She's been making the podcast circuit recently, and she's been saying a lot of different stuff. But recently she said on a podcast that she's realized that she's had to create her own happiness, find her own happiness. She can't look at Will, for those who might not understand, Will Smith, her husband, for happiness, which Will said that on the Red Talk table to her a couple years ago. Hey, I can't make you happy. You can't make me happy. We both have to make ourselves happy and then come together and be happy. This is such a interesting conversation because it just seems like a lot of people are searching for happiness. What is happiness? Is it something that we can truly obtain? And what do y'all think about Jada's comments pertaining to this in her marriage?
I think it's easy to obtain. I think it's easy. It's easy to do, but it's got to be. Are you a happy person? When she says it's happy, it's in you. You can't look at other people and be like, I'm in a relationship, but I'm not happy. Why are you not happy? That person can't make you happy. You got to be happy yourself, and then you got to help them. You ain't gotta help them, but you gotta be happy together. It's like 1 + 1. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have one, and then okay, yeah. But I ain't gonna say 1 + 1. I'm gonna say I don't know, man. But it's different. Like people always want to be like, I'm not happy. But what are you doing to make yourself happy? Forget about everybody else. What are you doing to make yourself happy? Because you have to be in the mind frame of yourself. Like when you wake up in the morning, like, what do I have to do to be a successful person or even a happy person? Or what do I have to do what makes me happy? I can't wake up in the morning and be like, okay, I wanna do this. I wanna go for a jog in the morning, a jog/walk. I wanna eat some fruit and drink a lot of water today. But that ain't gonna make me happy. I need my partner to do whatever I ask her to do or whatever I ask him to do if you on that side on the train track. And if they don't do that, then I'm not happy.
That do make sense because when you looking at it from that standpoint, and like as I've gotten older, I've understood this more. I used to hear it all the time from the older people. Like happiness is external. Like that's something where outside things are happening and you're happy. Your football team won, you're happy or whatever. Like things outside of your control is happening, and all these emotions are fleeting. Like no emotion, you're supposed to be in that emotion forever. That's how you get depression. Like depression ain't just sadness. That's a state. That's a state that you're in. Like joy, like that comes from inside. That's I'm content. I have purpose. I'm thankful, I'm grateful or whatever. My team lost, but I have joy that I was able to sit down and watch my team play, and just watch a game with my friends or something like that versus, people who just allow happiness to take over. Also, I'm gonna be honest, you can't satisfy a hoe. And for those who don't know what a hoe is, that's a harlot of evil. Let me repeat that. That's a harlot of evil. That is what Jada Pinkett Smith has become. She's a harlot of evil. Because what this bitch has done to Will, oh my God, this is so crazy. We used to think about how we used to look at Will Smith.
No, think about how we used to look at Jada Pinkett.
Man, think about how we used to look at both of them.
Right.
Now think about how we bashed the fuck out of Will. We think Jada's just the craziest hoe that ever done walked the planet.
But how we thought that? Because we always thought that Jada was a bald-headed hoe.
Nah, we didn't think no.
There was a period of time where
she was
Jada
looked at as beautiful. She was looked at as a beautiful black woman. Especially when we compare it to the other.
You can still be bald-headed and black and a hoe and still be beautiful.
I haven't heard no one use the term beautiful in a long time.
Or hoe. She didn't give hoe back.
And we never thought she was a hoe.
She's been a hoe since Set It Off.
That was a role she played. We didn't look at her like that. We
did.
Like Common used them like as an example in one of his songs.
Yes, we did.
We trying to be like Will and Jada. People really thought that was a real love.
Power couple or power individuals.
Yeah, we did look at them in the power couple, but Jada always been that. She was always the poster child for
weird.
Nate, I'm in the bind. She's always in the poster child.
Her character was, but not her as a person.
Not her as a person, but we didn't know her as a person. But she was always
that's
that.
What I'm saying. Because every time we saw her Will, it was always Will was so attentive. They just seemed like, oh man, they seemed like they're just such a happy couple and everything. And then I don't know if it was 2015, 2016, shit started going left. And that shit ain't got back right since.
From a black woman's perspective, we didn't look at Jada as a bad anything, like not in a negative way. We looked at her along the lines of the Nia Longs and the Vivica Foxes and the Holly Pete. She wasn't.
She was never Holly Berry though.
No, she wasn't Holly Berry, but there's a lot of women that wasn't giving off Holly Berry. She had her own thing. I don't even think that she was like a sex symbol, maybe a pseudo sex symbol just because she was so petite or whatever the case may be. But the short hair was in. Toni Braxton wear short hair. That was in. That was a thing. So to be bald-headed and be sexual, I don't give her the whole thing. I didn't start to think of her as the whole until you started to hear the whole swinging conversation.
That shit was crazy.
So when that started coming out, you're like, now wait the fuck. And then when Hawthorne got cancer because she was fucking Mark Anthony, then it was like,
and we found out she fucking her son best friend. Yeah. You fuck. This nigga came to you in a moment of need. This nigga was depressed, and you fucked him. Well, you said, "Hey, fall in this pussy real quick."
But see, that's where the happiness conversation.
And you turn that nigga gay.
That's where the happiness conversation comes in. Because you've been in your career all these years, you have all of this acquired money and things and people and connections, and your kids are doing this, that, and the other, and your husband is this, that, and the other. What else could someone possibly do? Nobody could make you happy. That's where you go back to that conversation of happiness. It is, what are you doing? I think she's trying to find, even now, she's still not happy. She's trying to find her happiness by, I'm going to pour out my soul and tell these people about me and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, first off, bitch, you crazy. Secondly, we didn't buy the first book. We're not going to go buy this book either. I mean, the table was enough. At least on the table, you was talking about everybody else's business. But then when you bring your husband and then you just, girl, stop. Like, you have lost all, to me, from, like I said, a black woman's perspective. I don't give a monkey's butt about Jada. I actually laughed when Chris Rock called her G.I., whatever the hell he called her.
G.I. But also, like, so, are they still together?
Yeah, no. They still together.
They're still married. They're not together. They're married.
Are they separated?
They're separated.
The way she's talked recently, she's made it seem like eventually they will get back together. It's just he got his time and she got her time.
No, he talked in the interview. They separated, and they've been separated for years.
Yeah.
But they're married because they don't want to break their marital vows. They don't want to break.
So they
don't want to split them assets.
I can only go off what she said recently. Cause they asked her, "Will you ever let Will move back in?" And she said, "Well, right now I'm not ready for that. But eventually my husband will come back. Will come back in the house with me." So she made it seem like they just separated and they trying to figure shit out and they gonna get back together.
So in this book, is did she suck Tupac dick or not? That's the only thing we want to know about you, Jada.
Yeah, everybody writing books. I know Brandy got a book.
Everybody, that's the only thing we want to know. Did you suck his dick or not?
They ain't doing it like Superhead.
Yeah,
Superhead told that shit like
Superhead told the whole story, but I ain't gonna lie, man, to what Nicole was saying, and I think that's why it's such an interesting conversation because me and MJ be talking a lot. And you see so many celebrities that, be quote unquote depressed, they're not happy, this ain't that, this ain't that. And it just comes down to like you're allowing other things to control how you feel. Because there are people who have way less than you, and they're the most joyous people you'll meet in your life. Like they get up, sunshine, they're ecstatic, they're happy. And sometimes that's something that we gotta be more grateful and thankful in our life for the circumstances and situations we have. Because there's so many things that we take for granted in our lives that we can do, that we have.
You got to get to a point of inner peace. When people don't have peace and they don't know the power of peace. So somebody with peace, the world could be collapsing, and someone with peace, that doesn't mean that someone with peace is delusional, like they don't know the world is falling apart. But they also realize that, unfortunately, the reason why celebrities go through this so much is because they have so much access to things that they don't have to depend on anything supernatural. And when they do, it's always energy and, the astrological signs and all that. But it's never like I have to put my trust and my faith in something beyond me and realize that I am still just a human. These people begin to think that they're not human, that they supernatural or they're supernova, all the different things. Right. And then that's the reason why when life hit them, they have the money, but they still be unhappy, or they have more than enough and they still want more. And I ain't talking about go get. I want a lot of things. And when I get a lot of things, I want a lot more. But where's your gratitude? Where is your peace at? There's a lot of celebrities that are rich and are very much peaceful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not the money, it's the soul of a person. And I believe because Will has, like you said that in an interview. But he said one in an interview by himself too, when he was talking about his book and talking about how he tried to give Jada a big birthday surprise or a big birthday bash. And he planned it. And he's like, I know this woman. I know what she likes. I know what artist she wants to sing. I know what kind of cake she wants. I know what color she wants on the drapes, blah, blah, blah. And she came in and she cried. And for days, she just cried. And he couldn't figure out why she was just crying so much. And granted, women, we have hormones. We don't know. She could have went through menopause. She could have been doing a whole bunch of other different stuff. Who knows? I don't care. But the simple fact that this man tried to make her happy. And a lot of times I think as females, we'll say we want a man to make us happy. And that's not, a baby ain't going to make you happy. A man ain't going to make you happy. That new career ain't going to make you happy. If you not happy and content with where your life is right now before you get another thing on this planet, you're not going to be happy. And it's just going to be a void that you keep trying to fill with things and people and stuff. And she done did all of that. So now she's writing a book because she want to tell y'all how unhappy she is and want somebody to feel sorry for her ass. Fuck her in that book.
Now, I agree with that, man, because I talk to MJ all the time. And one thing that I try to, make sure I make clear when I talk to MGH, TZK, or C's, that sometimes my rhetoric will come off to like how you were saying about, I want more things. And, when I get more things, I want more things. I don't think there's nothing bad in wanting to have nice stuff. I don't think there's nothing bad in wanting to make money. Where I verge from the societal viewpoint is, what am I without it? If I don't get this job making this much money, am I still content? Am I still happy?
Right.
If I don't have this kind of car, if I don't live in this type of house, if I don't have this and that, like, will I still be able to enjoy my everyday life? And that's where I feel like the issue comes in at, because you hear people, oh man, I only make 100,000 a year, or I only make 80 a year, and that be the be all and end all for them. Oh, I only drive this kind of car. I don't have this kind of car. I can't afford this type of watch, and this and that. And it's like, so why is these external things the be all for you? Like, that should just add to your life, but that should not make or break the way you view your life. Like, I was listening to Arsenio Hall talk on an interview for Paramount that he's going to do. And he was saying, I could have had a 20, 40 year career like Johnny Carson, but I wanted to have a 6-year career when I could do it my way instead of their way.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with the career I've had. And then he was asked in the same interview, so why don't you really do stuff in Hollywood no more? And he said, man, I got to a point I wanted to see my kids grow up. I wanted to just be at home. And he said, I made enough money where I never wanted to make the kind of money where I flew on private jets and I was able to do all this, have my own island. I wanted to make enough money where I don't have to think about money. And that was so profound to me, because over the last, I say 7-8 years, that's kind of been my attitude. Like, I buy nice stuff. I eat nice places. I do things with money. So it's not like I don't. But my mindset is like, if I can get to a point where I can wake up and know everything is taken care of,
Right.
like, I would be like, okay, great, fine. Because I never in my life at no point in time was like, man, I wish I was famous, man. I wish I could just travel anywhere I want in the world. Like, some of that stuff just never piqued my interest to the point where it's like, if I can't do this, I'm going to be unhappy. And God bless all the people that do travel to Japan and Africa and all that other stuff, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't mind going to Japan. I wouldn't mind going to France. But if I never leave the country, I promise you, I'm not going to be like, my life is just so fucked up because I never left U.S. soil. Nah, I feel like I live a very good life. I'm very thankful for the life I live. I've done things in my life that I think is profound and have brought me very much happiness. And I have people in my life that I'm very thankful to have in my life. And, I've said this a couple of times on the last couple of episodes, man. I feel like this is why religion for so many people is so big and important, because you got to have something that you feel like is bigger than you. So whether it's Judaism, you're Catholic, Islam, for me it's Christianity. We just celebrated Easter recently. There has to be something that you believe in that will give you a purpose in your life, that will give you meaning in your life. Something that's bigger than just yourself. And, for a lot of people, that have that, they tend to seem to be very happy, to be honest. They tend to be very, to the word that you use, at peace. And it seems like peace and joy are synonymous. Like, if you have peace, you have joy. If you have joy, you have peace. Whereas happiness does not necessarily mean you have peace, because, you're happy in that moment because someone gave you something, or you got to fuck this bitch or whatever. But, after that 30 minutes of sex, or after you spend that $1,000 someone give you, is that still there?
But that's what I was going to say earlier, and I had lost my train of thought for a second. A lot of times we conceptualize, we don't realize that our emotions are our responsibility, right? So it's your responsibility to control your emotions, right? But at the same time, we seek happiness to the American people, because we look at the pursuit of happiness. Happiness to
shout
the
out
American,
to Will Smith.
Shout out. We look at happiness as to fill a void with temporary things, right? It's I need to. It's like a high, like an addiction. I gotta have, I gotta get, I need to get, I gotta go, I want to be, I want to do, I want to conquer, I want to. So you gotta go, get it. And when you are unfulfilled in some part of that, whatever that is, maybe it's your ego, maybe it's your finances, maybe
it could be your health.
It could be your health.
There are people who feel like if I lose weight, I'll be happy. And I've met people who lost plenty of weight
and still be unhappy
because it's something else you got to fix.
Because it's your self-esteem. You got to get to the root of some stuff. Sometimes happiness in not being happy, or depression. Like, a lot of times people attach depression to themselves, and then they don't look at the root of it. You're not depressed. You have unresolved. You don't communicate. You don't set healthy boundaries. You stressed out, bitch. You don't sleep enough. You don't eat. You ain't depressed. You're not taking care of yourself. So I also think that when people say that they're not happy, happy is subjective. You can look at a 90-year-old some odd person. They can get up in the morning, barely be able to walk to their bathroom, barely be able to fix themselves a meal. But them people are happy and they are at peace because they're not looking to keep feeling no temporary high. Like you said, people that have continuous sex, or they have to get on porn all the time, or they got to be inebriated all the time, or intoxicated, or on something all the time just to have peace. That's where you know those people aren't happy. And even when they don't, I say one thing, at least she bold enough to tell people publicly she ain't happy.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because a lot of people fake the funk, man.
Yeah.
They would definitely fake the funk. And, it's sad, man, because at the end of the day, and I'm going to wrap it up with this, like, find that purpose in your life, and there's some people talking about kids. Kids can be a purpose for some people. It's not a purpose for everyone. Because I know people, I've met women who want to be a stay-at-home mom, who want to raise kids, but I've met women who want to have a career and stuff like that. Like, you have to find out, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to be to other people around me? What do I feel like? And if you're religious like myself, what is it that I feel like God has put a calling on me to do for people in my community and just the world in general? And once you have that, like, you'll be able to have that peace and that joy, But I'm gonna leave everyone with this. Just remember, you can never have happiness with a hoe, a harlot of evil. Moving on to TNT.
Dynamite, TNT, tears or no tears.
Going on from some of the biggest celebrities of the last 40 years to one of the biggest celebrities of the last 5 years. So DaBaby and Charleston White have had a back and forth online because DaBaby was leaving from somewhere, and an artist by the name of B. White tried to hand DaBaby a painting of his daughters. He did not accept it, so fans criticized him because he brushed the man off. He got online and said, "Hey man, I don't know the dude. I'm not for no dude just, handing me a painting of my daughters, a grown man just painting my daughters. That's just weird to me. I ain't with that. If you accept that, that's cool. I'm not telling nobody how to live." Charleston White got online, said, "That's my cousin. He done painted many famous people before. He do this because he showed his gratitude. Why you saying fuck the fans?" And then DaBaby, because B. White posted the painting on his social media, DaBaby then made a post saying, "Yo, I told you I don't fuck with that shit. Get that shit off your social media. I'm not playing. If I see you, it's going to be a problem." So then B. White took it down, and then Charleston White did what he did. He continued to antagonize the situation. So what I did, before everyone give their thoughts, I wanted to know, like, okay, well, is this like a real thing by this dude? Like, and I'm gonna give you a list of celebrities that he's done, and I'm only going to name celebrities that people should know: G Herbo, Moneybagg Yo, Bossman D-Lo, Young Blue, Gunna, Gorilla, Dage Low, Mariah the Scientist, Tia Kemp, Aiden Ross, Finesse Two Times. The least famous person is Joe Pavlovsky. He was a hockey player in the NHL. I'm only throwing him out there to show that he does athletes too. Kane, the WWE wrestler, 42 Doug, Lotto, Tiger, and probably the biggest person he's done is 50 Cent.
So he did pictures of all their kids.
Most of those kids. A lot of those men, he did pictures of them. Now, Gorilla, he did a picture of Gorilla and Gorilla father, but a lot of the pictures he do are intimate pictures. So it may not necessarily be your kids. It could be you and your spouse, you and your parent, but a lot of the pictures are pictures of you and a loved one that he does. But yes, a lot of the gangster rappers I named, like Moneybagg Yo and G Herbo, yes, he got pictures of. One of them got a son, and another one has a daughter. Yes, so he does do pictures of people's families.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with DaBaby shit. It does give off weird when you painting pictures of people's kids that you just get off the internet. It does give kind of weird.
Why is the pictures on the internet?
Yeah, sometimes they because of paparazzi. Because of paparazzi,
A lot of fans said the baby posts his kids.
I don't
follow the baby, but a lot of fans say he posts the kids.
He posts his kids a good bit.
Yeah, so I don't know if he posts them or not, but if I'm just going off if you don't, well, he's saying like if you don't post your kids and things like that, and you taking stuff off paparazzi, then I can understand where you're coming from. But if you post your kids online,
bring his kids to most of his concerts and bring them on stage. These are the fans was in the comment section saying.
If you're doing all that, then why are you mad? Then you put your kids out there.
I told MGH, if the kids are not in the spotlight, then yeah, how did you get these pictures? But if you posting and I say this for regular people,
yeah,
if you posting your kids online, understand you putting that out there for the internet.
Yeah,
even if you put your shit on private, like it's still on the internet. If you a celebrity, there are celebrities who have kids. We don't know what the fuck their kids look like because they don't bring their kids on stage when they performing and doing all kind of other stuff. But if you decide to have reality TV shows like we was just talking about T.I. and Tiny, got your whole family out there so we can see all your kids. So at that moment, you're putting them in the public eye.
That's everybody's kids now.
You know, I don't like the concept of the way the baby phrased it, and I'm the baby fan. And the reason why I don't like the concept, if this was a female artist, would you been okay with it? If this was your son and not a daughter, because the way he said in the video, he made it seem like a grown man who this is his profession, this is his craft, painting your daughters. Mm-hmm. There's some kind of intent there, and it's like I don't like that connotation. Because if he would have just said, "I don't want no grown person painting my kids," and left it at that. But if you listen to his wording, he was very specific in saying a grown man painting my girls. Now you making it seem like, yo, bruh, that a grown man who this is what he does, he got some type of crazy intent. That's the only thing I didn't like, man. To me, hey, man,
yeah,
you should have took the painting, you should have took the picture, and you should have told the dude, hey, man, I appreciate this, but I don't really like, people just doing this kind of stuff for my daughter, so just be mindful of that. Yeah, and then you could have came online and said something.
I don't feel like he should have took it. If he didn't want it, I don't think he had to take it. But also it's like he didn't have to take it.
I say he had to, but he should have. I think he should have.
I wouldn't.
He didn't have to take it, but then my thing is, it's like you promote yourself as the daddy's girl. That you're that guy. So most of the time, he's done paintings for people where it's been their loved ones that have passed.
Yeah,
they're celebrities now. He did a portrait for DC Young Fly of Shorty when she passed away, and it was with her with her kids around her. So I think he was just trying to be respectful and like Vertizi said, just say, hey man, I appreciate the gesture, but this ain't really something I would have wanted, blah blah blah, and then keep it moving. That could have been a private moment, but I think that what Charleston be doing, I think in general, when someone speaks up and they say the contrary to something, it's going to cause a problem. And the baby always popping off on people, and I like the baby music too. So
I will say one more thing. I don't have tears. I said this.
I ain't got no tears either.
I ain't either.
I wanted to make sure I get this point out here. There are people that me, you, and Nicole don't know, Rose, that are chefs, that are producers, that are engineers, that are painters, that work in the industry and are not celebrities, but all these celebrities know. Like there's certain people that cook for a living, and every famous person know. The reason why I put that list out, it wasn't just about the pictures that you alluded to. It was how many famous people did this nigga paint? Because for the baby to say he didn't know this nigga, and some of these artists I named is artists he's done music with, and they have posted the paintings on their pages. I find that hard to believe you don't know, because we just saw earlier last year where Jess Hilarious said she didn't know some comedian that ran the Chicago studio stand-up place, and every comedian got on the internet and said, if you in the industry and you do comedy, you know this nigga. And there was celebrities that was like, the baby doesn't know this nigga? Hey, bro, maybe you was being disingenuous with that. You probably should have said that you knew the nigga, because I doubt you didn't know this nigga. But moving on to another celebrity. Our boy Offset is in the news again, man.
I mean, y'all boy.
Definitely y'all.
He from Georgia, man. So we gotta support him, man.
Nah, man.
Right, wrong, or indifferent. We gotta support the Georgia boy.
He's the right Migo to get shot, but Offset was, Takeoff was the wrong nigga that got killed.
So originally, people thought Offset got shot by someone named Lil TJ. Apparently, TJ basically tried to claim the shooting, but apparently it came out that TJ didn't do the shooting. Someone in his posse did the shooting. Apparently, it was dispute over a gambling debt. So then we had other celebrities come out from Des Brown who said that nigga owed him $8K. And I'm sorry, it was someone else who I don't know. I think it was Ebru came out. Yeah, Ebru came out and he did apologize for making it public. Came out and said that nigga owed him money. Then Cardi said something about she had an Amex card that this nigga spent over $900K using or whatever. I ain't got no tears, man. Yo, I find it so crazy, y'all, that the people with the most money is the cheapest motherfuckers out here.
He must ain't got no money.
You got millions of dollars, bro.
He not
you
cheap.
got $10K.
He not cheap. He's a cheater.
Yes.
He's not cheap. He's a cheater.
Just when you got that kind of money, just pay the people the money you owe.
Didn't that girl just give him a whole bunch of money out of that divorce?
Yeah,
but it wasn't no millions of dollars.
But it was enough to pay a nigga $10K though. Like, just pay them money because it's too many of y'all that go to the casinos, and I hear stories about he got a $100,000 debt.
Like Bruno Mars.
Yeah, like Bruno Mars, and it's some casinos he's not even allowed to enter because he owed nigga. How? Just pay the money before you leave the casino at night. Or I owe you $20,000. He gotta go because I don't like. Because me personally, I don't like owing nobody. So when I owe somebody $5, I'll be like, hey, here goes $5 because I don't want to even owe you.
It's easy. How many credit cards you got?
None.
All right. So then you don't understand. So it's easy. It's easy. It's easy.
Especially if you got your hands in a bunch of different stuff at different places. He ain't keeping up with his income. He ain't keeping up with his money.
So it's like, when you got credit, so it's like, it's easy to be like, when you can just go to and say, and if somebody say, I'm gonna give you this amount of credit, and you like, oh, for real? Okay. But if you're not smart and know how to spend it, like, he's a Negro that doesn't know how to, nobody in his ear telling him how to do things, so he's going to spend it wrong. But when you have that kind of assets and things like that and credit, that's what people do. So it's normal, but it's not normal not to pay it, especially when you got money. So it's like, he shouldn't even be accepted the credit because according to him, he's an amigo. He got millions of dollars according to him.
Once you get to that certain level of money, I'm just paying everything in cash and from my bank. I'm not using credit, man. I'm not even getting caught up in the system.
Yeah, but that's the thing about it. It's like, you can say that, but once you get to a certain level, you're gonna have to have some kind of credit. So you gonna have to. So people go give it to you, and you be like, okay, yeah, I got the cash in my pocket, I can pay you. But when you're a grimy person, you're thinking, oh, I'm Offset, I'm a grimy person. Yeah, you gave me this. I took that.
That's what I'm saying.
I took that, but it don't work that way.
You need to pay them people that damn money. And I hope they big and bad enough people start chopping off fingers and toes.
Are they bougie enough?
I don't know who he owe. I don't think it's just
who got left off bad and bougie. It should have been Offset.
That dude look like I got left off bad and bougie.
It should have been Offset.
Must have been.
And man, somebody
shout out to Takeoff.
Somebody who used to be real bad and bougie. You know, they look like they're trying to come back to the pack though. So Candace Owens got on Bill Nye the Science Guy's internet and tweeted after Donald J. Trump tweeted that, you know, basically he was going to wipe Iran off the face of the planet and it's going to be glorious. She then tweeted that, you know, we need to impeach him. We need to get the articles together. This is a maniacal madman. I ain't got no tears. Because during the election cycle, I ain't gonna lie, every time I just see people that kind of was caping for Trump.
It's a lot of money.
During the election cycle.
A lot of money.
Yes, a lot of them. That's like, damn, bro. So we tried to tell y'all over a year ago what shit was going to be like. And now, bro, we not even a full year to his term. And y'all like, man, this shit is fucked up. Yeah, it's fucked up.
They effed around and found out, didn't they?
Yeah, they done found out. So I don't really have no tears because y'all should have thought about this when y'all put that nigga in office, especially you influencers like Aiden Ross and Joe Rogan that promoted him on your platforms, that promoted this nigga on your Theo Fissing with the little white boy comedian, the redneck. Y'all promoted Andrew Schultz that promoted the nigga on your fucking platforms and got thousands, if not millions of people who wasn't even going to vote for this madman.
And then what they saying now?
And now you're saying we didn't vote for this. Yeah, you voted for it, and guess what? All of your followers voted for it too.
I'm reminded of a very prominent story in the Bible where the same people that called Hosanna, Hosanna were the same people that said hang him, hang him. And I don't think we look at it in a negative sense sometimes too. Like, just because he's a bad guy don't mean that his followers weren't going to eventually turn on him. I saw this happen, okay? It happened the first time. We forget about Omarosa. One Omarosa ass all in the White House, all in the background somewhere doing something, and all of a sudden she started talking about she got to get out the White House, and she ran out the White House, then she wrote a book, and where you seen her ass at since? You don't see her. Candace wanted to be confrontational. She wanted to be the conversation. I don't think she believed half the stuff that she was saying, but even if she did, I'm not surprised. Like, that's her MO. She just like arguing with people. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's just like when the Latinos started talking about something. Like, no, y'all voted for this fool. I don't understand. Or when the little old white lady get on the news and she's like, yeah, I just thought that he was gonna do this and he was gonna. They couldn't have. This man ain't. Crazy thing about it is he ain't surprised us by doing none of the stuff he's doing. He's doing everything that he said he was gonna do. Every time he's made an address, every time. That's the reason why when he tweet crazy shit, we automatically like, oh man, what this man finna do? Because he don't just talk it. He do it. He actually does it. And if it don't look like exactly what he says, it's some roundabout version of it. And if it take a little bit longer, it take a little bit longer. But there's no way we still trying to be surprised or play surprised about none of the antics that he's doing. That's just crazy to me. So no tears. I don't feel bad for her. And we don't want you. Stay over there. Stay over there. When you was on their side, when you was over there doing all of the campaigning and stay over there. I don't know what it is about y'all African American Negroes that the moment the thing don't work out the way you think it's going to work out, when you kick your people to the curb to go with somebody else and join their side, that you want to come back over here. No, we good over here. Stay your ass over there. We know who you are. We good.
Man, I ain't got no tears either, man. But I got tears for all the soldiers that's going over there. But also, man, where is Olivia Pope when you need her? Where is Olivia Pope when you need her?
Find that bitch. She back there having sex somewhere too.
Man, we need Olivia Pope to stand up and fix this, because she's a fixer. We need her to come up here and fix this, because this ain't right. He's saying he about to just blow up innocent people. He already killed lots of innocent girls when he blew up that school accidentally. He already killed, but ain't nobody talking about that. Ain't nobody talking about that. He done killed girls, little kids. That's all I got to say.
So, talking about innocent people to people that's not so innocent. So, Renee Coleman, she's a Jonesboro worker. She works for a company. I could not find the exact company she worked for, but I just found out it was in Jonesboro. And so, she makes $16.50 an hour. Her job accidentally paid her over $19,000. The CEO made a statement.
Why?
Why they accidentally? Because HR made a little typo in the little system.
She a brand new employee?
I think she's been there for a minute.
What they changing? You ain't supposed to change nothing about my payroll unless I change something about my payroll. So how that accident happened? So we still using time cards. That's the paper. You got to fill your time card out when you go to work. You got to fill your time card out when you go to work.
No,
or it's digital.
Nah, it's all online.
Oh, okay.
So,
sorry,
no, you good. So the CEO basically said they requested the money from her.
She didn't explain how she got that $19,000.
That shit went in her account by what?
Payroll made a mistake.
No, payroll made a mistake. That's why I ain't got no tears for them. But payroll made a mistake because instead of paying her $16.50 an hour, they pay her $1,650 an hour for 12 hours.
Yeah, and that's how she got $19,000.
Oh yeah, I'm not giving nothing back.
So the CEO requested the money. She refused. They had her arrested.
Oh,
she's in jail right now, waiting. Well, her bond is like $15,000.
She got it.
and it still ain't finna spend it. How long I got?
I got tears for Miss Coleman because, hey man, me and MJ talked about this earlier. Man, that's y'all fault. Y'all fucked up. That's my money.
That's mine.
You know, you ain't getting it back. The fact that they even able to do this, me and MJ was like, they allowed to lock someone up. We was like, yo, we knew you could fire someone. We knew you could garnish their wages and all this stuff. But we didn't know people could get locked up for it. But apparently there's some technicalities once you get to over $10,000 and, you know, but from my understanding from what I read, it's really going to come down to the reason why she's in jail right now. When I explained to MGH is apparently they got to prove that she had nothing to do with it. And if she had nothing to do with it, if she's willing to sit down and wait till her hearing, once they prove she had nothing to do with it, she can leave with the money and the job can't do nothing. So it's just a matter of, you got time to just wait.
They're going to take that shit off my record too?
Yes.
And I'm suing, because why am I sitting in jail waiting for you to prove I didn't have nothing to do with it?
So once you get out and they ain't got nothing to do with it, it's like you got $20K. I got that, and I'm gonna get the company too.
I'm gonna get that company.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the company too. I ain't got no tears from the company. I got tears for her though, because if I was in that state, I remember one time. Have you ever been underpaid before? And you had to email HR and be like, hold on, like I thought my offer letter said this, but I got this. And what they did on your next check, oh, we gonna give you that. We gonna give you that. We go. But I needed that now. I needed that now.
My
but
next check.
I needed that now. But
I counted them ducats because I knew how many hours of work and I know how much I get paid per hour. And at this rate, I know how much taxes should be coming out.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, yeah, I get it next week, but I needed it. I needed it today.
Hey man,
rent due on the 1st.
Yeah, I can ask MGH. A lot to you not working at the summer camp first year, but you know when you first feel. That's why I said when she brand new. Working at the summer camp, you have to fill out your.
You know, she probably had to be first due or got a promotion or something.
They had to have a reason to change something because you know when you first start, they ask you for either a cancel check or you to fill out your information. So I fill out my information, turn it in. I get my first check from the while working at the summer camp. I done made a hair appointment and everything. Wake up Friday morning, money ain't in my account. I'm like, bro, what the hell? I'm calling the manager and I'm like, hey, my money's not there. And they're like, oh, well, we could write you a check, but we gonna get it to you on Monday. No, we gonna get that to me today. Whose office do I need to come and pull up to for you to give me that check today? I ain't gonna say what ended up being put where the money was placed, but they trifling for that. They could have left Shorty alone.
Hey man, talking about trifling and Shorty. So in this last TNT, we got to do this for you. It almost made What's Wrong with These Hoes, where we got something bigger coming for y'all. So there was a man that was, being interviewed on the street, and he was asked, and I'm going to use the terminology he used. I hope y'all understand. Would you rather be a transformer or a PDF? And if you've been on the internet, hustling on the internet game the last couple of years, you understand what those two terms mean. Without hesitation, the man said a PDF because I still want to be a man. And then he said, hold up, wait. Nah, I mean, and he basically stuck to his guns, but he was like, man, that's crazy though.
He thought about it.
He thought about it. Once he said it immediately, he then thought about it, but he stuck to it because he wanted to be a man. I got tears of laughter, bro, because man, you could have still been a man and just been a transformer. Like, unless the question was phased, you had to go through with the surgery and shit. Like, you could have been like, yo, man, I just present myself as a woman, but
once you become a transformer, you've gone through the
okay, so if that's how we taking it,
that's my definition.
Then that's one of those questions that you just don't answer, unfortunately. You be like, hey, nigga, get out of my face, man. I don't play these internet games. I'm not going to touch no kids, and I'm not chopping my dick off.
Okay, no, but we about to ask the question right now.
Right.
We about to ask a question right now.
We start with Levert.
So would you rather be a transformer or a PDF?
I don't answer no questions like that.
Oh man. Look at Nicole. Would you rather be a transformer or a PDF?
A transformer.
Okay.
I think that answer is easier for me as a woman than it would be for a man.
Hey, so I ain't chopping my dick off.
Yeah, so you asked DJ Rose.
What you was gonna do, man?
Hey.
How young they gotta be?
Adobe.
Adobe. What's Adobe?
If you don't know, you don't know. How you don't know what Adobe is?
I don't know what Adobe is. Last time I saw Adobe was like on the side of a VHS tape.
My boy. Oh, my chest hurt.
I just can't believe you don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what Adobe is. Talking about the internet software?
You want to talk about y'all be on the internet, you know these terms. Please don't admit what Adobe is so I can cry laughing.
I don't know what Adobe is.
Please tell me.
Oh, Adobe is the software that the PDF that runs on. That's Adobe PDF.
Yeah, I'm on the list.
Are you talking about the sex offender list? Shit. Amen.
No, it's not the sex offender list. That's what it is.
It is.
It's like Microsoft. How you don't know what Adobe is?
Adobe? Talking about. So there's a software that the PDF file run on?
That's what it's called.
It's called Adobe. So you can find PDFs on Adobe?
No.
That's what PDFs use to be to commit PDFs?
No, wait, stop. No, he's just saying in general. The document, when you open a PDF document, it opens with Adobe.
Oh, when you open a PDF file, okay. It opens with Adobe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. So we got a transformer and a PDF. Okay, cool. Yeah, man, I ain't.
You ain't gonna pick?
Man, I'm not chopping. Bro, if I
go ahead and break the tie.
Bro. Just to not be born. Just not to be born. I am so against.
I felt buddy.
I am so against crimes of children.
It's a tough pick.
And I'm assuming these are like actual kids, so I'm not saying teenagers. If we can cheat and say like
they all
kids.
They all kids.
That's what I'm saying though, because I feel like
now you sound like R. Kelly.
The only reason why I'm saying that is if you said that I got to go through with the transformer shit, so I got to cut my dick off. So if we're saying that, then the opposite on the other side would be, oh, well, she was 16, she was 15. Yeah, I'm a pedophile, but I fucked a 15-year-old. Yeah, I can live with that. Yeah. Nigga, I can't. If you have not hit teenage years,
you ain't got an effort.
And you a kid,
you ain't got an effort.
I ain't doing shit with no kids.
You ain't got an effort.
I'm not doing shit with no kids.
You never be in the car with her.
You ain't got an effort.
I'm not doing shit with no kids.
But you definitely got to chop if you're gonna be a transformer.
I don't know what's wrong with these questions. I don't know what's wrong with these hoes.
I don't know what's wrong with your answers you just gave.
They're trying to die.
What's wrong with them?
So, there was a lady who basically posted a video saying, Section 8 is my husband. Now, for context, she walked out of the welfare office, the big building, and she said, yeah, I just left my husband. You see my big fat husband over there? And I ain't gonna lie, in the video, a big fat man comes out the video. Like, he comes out the building. I thought that was her husband. I said, oh, this one of the hoes that you so down on your luck, you gotta fuck some fat, sloppy nigga to pay your rent. Which, and I can relate to that. A lot of my hoes have to deal with that. But that's what I thought it was. Unfortunately, though, she wasn't talking about that nigga. She was talking about Section 8 is her husband saying, yeah, it pays all my bills. Well, not all my bills, but the two biggest bills on my plate, it takes care of those. Yeah, I don't care. Section 8 is my husband. What's wrong with these hoes, y'all?
No. I'm so tired of this foolishness.
Hey, we talk about it all the time, like, and then the thing about the hoes be like, oh yeah, you got to pay my rent to do this. You got to pay my rent. Hold your rent $50. Your rent $28,
And
you get a utility check.
And
So
they still don't pay it. They still be getting evicted. How you owe subsidized income living and your shit on the side of the road? I don't understand that. They be getting, like you said, $50 rent, $180 rent, and can't get right. Can't do it right for nothing in the world.
And then
that ain't their nigga, that's their pimp. The government, they pimp. That's what you really meant to say. That's your nigga, all right. That's your husband. That's your pimp.
And it'd be so funny because we see some of them, because we know some of them, and like they turn their whole kids in the Transformers. They kids be Transformers, and sometimes you see the kids be looking so raggedy, and I'm like, hold on now, I thought you was that girl. But man, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous, and the fact is, they don't want to talk about it, but y'all hoes put it on the internet so we can see it, and then we know you hoes too. So it's like, oh, we know what's really going on, but
not you posting pictures in the neighborhood and you live in the slums. Like, we don't know what type of.
I'm talking about. Sometimes I'm talking about one of the ones we know. They was in the ghetto, in the project. Mm-hmm. Then Section 8 move you to a whole nother city. But Section 8, once you move to a whole nother city, the Section 8 get higher. So that's not your home. You just live there.
Right, baby. It's supposed to be.
And home is where the heart is. If that's where their heart is, that's where their home is, I guess.
But you can't tell Vertiz and say you gotta pay my rent and lie and say, oh, you want to hit, you gotta pay my rent.
Mind you,
$600, but your rent only $60.
No, it wasn't $600, it was $800.
I ain't want to say that though.
Mind you, he ain't supposed to be there anyway. If you know, like I know, you little bitches that be on Section 8, niggas ain't supposed to be there because they consider that to be against the rules.
They consider it is against the rules. You can only suck the dick for a little while, but that dick got to go.
He got to go. He can't stay there more than 24 hours.
Yeah, man. So I was looking this shit up, man, because this is such a repetitive conversation in the black community, man. And this shit was created in 1974. The Section 8 housing part of it. You know, welfare been around for much longer than that, but the actual Section 8 housing, basically the guidelines we have today, was created during that time period. And that's so interesting when I think about it, because it affects the black community so negatively in terms of marriage and the way we raise our kids and relationships. And it makes you think, what was going on during that time period? Oh, we had just got the Voting Rights Act passed. We started getting more civil rights, and the black families was at its peak in the United States, and then they dropped this on us.
All the black men just came back from Vietnam.
You know, yeah. So this kind of like, so this kind of seems like something that the government was doing to disrupt the black community. Then I start looking at statistics about, you know, it's based on, because there are two-parent, I didn't even know this. I had to do research. There are two-parent households that be on Section 8.
For sure.
But the income has to be a certain level for it to be that way.
Only two-parent households is on Section 8. I'm not going to say the word, but it starts with R. And both of them are that.
Okay. But yeah. It's a low percentage, but there is, I think it's only like 7. Yes. I think it's only like 7%.
It's less than that.
You know, 7%, maybe 5%, but it's a low percentage, definitely single digits. But the household has to be a certain amount for that to be the case. And the number is so low when it's a two-parent household, from the numbers that I saw, and these are averages across the country, it's almost impossible to have two people making that low of amount.
Yes.
Right.
You know, then I just looked at in Georgia where like the average voucher is like $1,250. You know, the average median salary in Georgia is like $50K. You know, well, Atlanta makes it so high that it brings up the state shit much higher. But there's places in Georgia that's as low as like 600, 500 or whatever. Mm-hmm. But like, so I'm looking at all these numbers and I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is destroying the black family, bro, because you're not renting to own. Like you said, you don't own the shit, so you're paying this. you're discouraged from actually making more money, because when you make more money, it goes up, and then once it goes to a certain point, then they kick you out, like you just said.
But most time when most time when they once you get on Section 8, the income thing doesn't really. Sometimes it don't matter
because they already got
you already got the voucher. So once you have to reapply for the voucher, but you only have to reapply maybe every 10 years.
Every 10 years, as long
something
as you
like
keep yourself clean, keep your name clean, pay your utility bills. Your utilities can't get cut off. And then, like you said, remember we had this conversation last week about the women not being able to raise their sons. But then this is a prime example of a situation where a woman gonna have a son. Mind you, most of the time you get approved, you got kids. So it's the women that's single parents.
Yes.
With kids, you got boys. Let's say you got one daughter and 4 boys, and then they in your house tearing up your neighborhood. Then you wonder why the neighborhood look like trash, because she can't keep up with all of them. It is made to destroy. It's a systemic way of destroying the Black people. Yeah.
And my bad, Rose, you was right. It's less than 3% of 2-parent households. And then the last 2 things to what you were saying, man. Hey, man, when you look at how it's set up, it's a trap that makes people dependent on the system, where they don't want to get better and improve, because you don't want to get a better job because you're afraid of losing your housing situation. Like, it is sad. There's a lot of women in general, but I just want to talk about the Black community. A lot of Black women that would rather, and I saw this on different podcasts over the last year and a half, and it's crazy that women are saying this publicly, they would rather have their Section 8 housing than to have a man that will pay their bills. We got to do better. This is not something that she should be proud to say on camera for the world to see, but unfortunately, this is a microcosm of society. There are a lot of women that do share her sentiment, and this is what's kind of destroying our Black community, because we got to get back to having Black households and Black families. Moving on to the final topic of the night. To get to, Black families and Black households and marriage and all that, you got to date and you got to meet someone. So a woman got online and said, hey, man, we talk about the nerdy Black boy trying to find love in the Black community, but we don't talk about the whimsical Black girl trying to find love in the Black community too. That's equally true. And this is a conversation that, has kind of been out there for a minute. In terms of like why Black people, Black women, Black men kind of date outside the race. Now, for people, trying to get an idea what whimsical mean, it's like very playful, fanciful, basically someone that's like unique and different. So think about maybe some of the golf girls.
Fantastical.
Maybe them Black girls who are very, very big into anime, the girls that you might have considered weird or whatever. What's your thoughts on what she had to say in terms of the eccentric Black people, boys and girls, having a hard time dating inside the community?
I don't think they have a hard time. I think people
go
like
where the people accepted them.
Yeah, people like who they get like. Right. As far as like, I was talking to my daughter, like she was saying like, my brothers better not ever bring a white girl home, but she's like, but I can date whoever I want to date, because Black men do certain things like that. I mean, I was like, well, I would rather you date a Black guy, but I ain't gonna say who you can't date. But she was like, yeah, my brothers, they can never bring a non-Black person home. And she said, because I can't remember the exact reason why she said it, but what she said made sense to me. But I was like, but yeah, I feel you. And she said, but women, I remember what she said. She said, because Black men treat Black women so bad, or men treat Black men just period just treat Black women so bad. They have a choice to get whoever treats them well. Because when you go into society, when you see women getting treated bad, it's never no other race than Black women. And it's like, you got to get in where you fit in, and you also have to understand the dynamics of the world today.
As a black woman, can I answer?
Yeah, please.
So it's also the stigma of what beauty in black look like in today's time. It changes and it evolves. We was talking about it earlier. When you look at the 90s woman, you know how you see them little things on Instagram and they be showing all the women, the 90s women from the sitcoms and what beauty looked like then. And then
Really skinny.
how it's changed and how it evolves. And
Now it's really thick.
It's getting thicker, or it's getting curvier, or it's getting natural versus relaxers and wigs versus braids. It changes so much that a black woman is constantly, I feel, as a black woman myself, you constantly have to evolve with the times. You know, if you're not evolving with the times, I find more that our black men will criticize us and not accept us as much if we don't fit a narrative of what they think a black woman should be like in that current time period. Versus, I'm just out here dating and whoever I run into, I run into. I understand where she's coming from, but it sucks that as a black woman, we have to think like that. But then when it comes down to the black man, I think as a black woman, I said it before, you want to be with these other nationalities, but the moment these other nationalities embarrass you, or humiliate you, or take from you, or steal from you, or whatever, accuse you of anything and everything, then it's like, now you back with a black woman. And we've seen that happen a couple of times too. So I don't know. I think it is weird that, and I saw the same, I don't know if it was the same interview, but I saw somebody being interviewed, a black woman. I want to say it was the girl from Friday, the one from Next Friday, the one that played Sugar. She was interviewing this one black girl, and the black girl acts very much like a Oreo. Back in the day, we used to say that black girls that kind of had that white girl vibe to them. And she said, "Do you have a hard time dating black men?" And she said, "No, I don't have a hard time dating black men, but they're not going to be the ones that choose me first. The first type of guys that usually approach me are white men because of the way my personality is." So I think it's subjective, but I also think that you should be able to date whoever you want to date. If a black man isn't something that wants me, and another man, whatever his nationality, comes along and he loves me and adores me, I think I should be able to date that person. But I also feel that way about men. As much as I don't like the whole fact of how black men get treated all kind of ways by other nationality of women, honestly, as a black woman, how do they get treated with us as well? So the same conversation could be true. A black man could think the same way and feel the same way. I go somewhere else, I'm more appreciated, I'm more loved, but then I'm with you, we argue all the time. There was a famous conversation between
James Baldwin,
yes, and Nikki Giovanni, where they talked about the black household and then how when we're out in society, how we conform to the world, but then when we come home, we give each other so much hell because we are so traumatized and things about the things that we go through in the world. So it's an interesting conversation.
And I don't think it's so much about they being traumatized. It's the fact that
condition, maybe.
It's the fact that being demasculated. Mm-hmm. And that can be a part of traumatizing, but also like you have to do what you have to do. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's like because women do the same thing. Like when you go to work, you don't speak your mind like you would speak your mind around to everybody else.
As a black woman, I've had to have this conversation with some of my white female coworkers. They'll say, you speak very well for yourself and you talk up for yourself, and I'll say, no, I have to do that with mindfulness. And they're like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You should say it. You should say it. And I said, no, you can say it. And I've had it happen. I've been at a job and said something to a manager and it got blown over, or either I was just complaining, and then a white woman could come along and say the same exact thing. And it's like, but you believed it when it came from her. But if I say it, then I'm angry, or I must have problems at home, or I'm upset. And it's like, no, bitch, I'm tired of the bullshit and I'm coming to this job and I'm working, but you're pissing me off. And yes, you are pissing me off, but a white woman can come in here and say, you're pissing me off and I could quit this job. I don't need this job. And you'll say, okay. But a black woman could say it and you'd be like, oh, well, you're ungrateful. So it is a narrative. You're right. And it's a stigma that we put on each other. No different than why black woman didn't initially want to put no relaxer in her hair. That's a different conversation. Let's just keep it 100. They didn't. They didn't want to originally put a relaxer in their hair. Most black men didn't originally want to put texturizers in their hair. There's a reason why we do the stuff we do, and we call it culture. It is culture, but there is a reason where it came from. So I do think the whimsical girl that likes anime and watches Sailor Moon or the new ones that I love, and I wish I could be this bitch, the ones that play the video games and that be real good at that shit, and they be on there and they be fucking with y'all as men, be talking shit. I like that. But it's different. And a lot of guys, it's because if you're conditioned to look at a woman a certain type of way, it may not be your cup of tea.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I think both is true. I think both have a hard time dating the black community. But I will say this though, me and MJ had this conversation because we talked about this before, and we can, and I can't speak on Jordan's generation, Rose, because we was given speculation, and I feel like that generation is breaking some of the chains and the molds and stuff because some of the stuff that was considered lame, like certain black people, if you was a fan of anime, you was lame. Yeah. You was picked at. I can't speak for your generation, Rose. I can speak for what me and MGH went through. Yeah. And I see a lot of black people now being so upfront about what they like, especially in that younger generation behind me, where it's not an issue. So for her experience, it's probably not a thing. Like you probably can like Sailor Moon and all this nerdy stuff and all this and still bag bitches and still bad black men or whatever. Because that's what I see online. I ain't gonna lie. When I do see black couples together that like that weird shit, they tend to be in their 20s.
But it's not weird though.
It's not weird. But to my generation, there was people, and I'm someone who likes anime. I'm someone who had Yu-Gi-Oh cards and stuff. There was people that would be like, if they saw me with Yu-Gi-Oh cards, they would be like, that's lame, that's weird. And this is me playing football now. This is me being on the football team. That was still a criticism guy. So I wasn't no lame-ass nigga that didn't play sports. Yeah. I played sports.
According to some people that went to school with you, you was lame. And some of the people that's close to you, and you call your friend, she said you was lame, and she contradicts everything that you say about some of the things that happened when you was in high school. And when I talked to you about that, and I was like, "What's she talking about?" And you tell me, well, she got different kind of mind frames, things like that. But still, it ain't right. And I don't feel that kind of thing about it. But that's how she felt. And she, according to her...
Yeah, she probably did feel that way because she was a popular person. I was not considered like her. But yes, my freshman year, like we're going up to the sentiment that you're talking about was basically she was taking... Like,
I don't know what she was talking about.
I'm just saying the sentiment was like freshman year. Because freshman year, I played football.
She was talking about more senior because she was talking about prom and things like that.
Yeah, but by that time, she wasn't really in the classroom like that. So it was different. I don't want to...
And that was, and if I'm assuming who I think, it's also subjective of what their definition of a lame person is.
Yeah.
Because at that time period, and I agree with him because I've had this conversation with a couple of my friends. I don't know what it is about our generation or our class, maybe. It was really like what was lame was the stuff that really, if you're a person of that age at that time period, we weren't lame.
Yeah.
We were mature. Or we weren't the kids that wanted to act out or get into a bunch of foolishness. And that would be lame to the people that wanted to go clubbing at the teen club and get drunk and go smoke or fuck outside of school or whatever. And here we are going to school, going to our classes. We lame. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, we could still be doing some of the same stupid shit, but we have more discretion about the stuff that we're doing. And so then it made us lame because we're not wearing designer to school or... You know, you drive, y'all all still riding the bus and we riding to school. You know, it was childish mentality.
So I do feel like
so that's why I think the perspective
is a generational conversation because even as a wrestling fan, I always been a wrestling fan.
Yeah, but that ain't something you was gonna talk about in school like.
But today, when I see the amount of black people that's just openly wrestling fans, it was not. I'm telling you, I was a diehard wrestling fan my whole life. I was not casually in this shit.
It's taboo to talk about being a wrestling fan.
As a black person, you always got criticized for being a wrestling fan.
Unless you was a kid.
Now, it's cool. Yeah. You know, and once again, that's a generational
thing. Because when I was in school, everybody was a wrestling fan.
You know, and by the time I got to school, that's when it started being less real, I guess, to people, and it started being lame. So, like, some of this stuff is like, you know, generational. But now, as far as how you get treated, man, I ain't gonna lie. I hate that aspect of the conversation because I see news articles all the time of a white man in Florida chop a black bitch head off. This his girlfriend, a white NFL player got a black wife, beat the hell out of the wife and everything. Yeah. Like we see all this stuff, but for some reason the black community, you know, and I'm going to talk with the black women first. The black women don't see the mistreatment that white men have of the black men. If you want to, I'm real. If you want to know how black men learn how to treat women, ask the white man. Everything that as a black man that we learn from the white men. Like white men are some of the most destructive people on the face of this earth. This earth. Because the stuff that they do to they women, even when Tim Tebow, we talked about PDFs not so long ago. Tim Tebow recently been on a crusade to find PDFs. He said after my research, over 97% of the PDFs I found in this country are white men.
Right.
Yeah.
Like when we had this conversation,
that's child porn and all that stuff.
Look at that Epstein stuff and how they were connected to Life Touch. And mind you, Life Touch is one of the biggest elementary, middle school, high school photo company. So these people have data of our pictures somewhere when we were kids, based off of just wanting to look at kids. That's nasty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when we have some of these conversations, and the greatest thing the white man ever did was make people think that black people are inherently dangerous, especially black men.
Absolutely.
Well, we think that in our own community, that we're inherently dangerous.
I think women think that men are just inherently dangerous, but black men, they do, the younger black men, they fit the description because that's what they want to be.
Yeah. Now, and let's make this clear: all men do fucked up shit. All women do fucked up shit. But I will say this: if you want to date in your race, there is people in your race that will treat you right.
Yeah.
Because I speak from my close friend group, like my inner friend group, like two of my homeboys that's black. I don't know too many people that treat their women better. Like they treat their women, like they do all kind of amazing shit for their women and put their women on pedestals like that. Mm. And I have white friends and they treat their wives pretty good too. But like there are plenty of black men out here that will treat their queens the way they need to be treated. Absolutely. And on the flip side, I know I'm sitting next to a black woman that would treat her, black man like a king. Like there are black women, because I don't like that whole conversation. Like I've never bought into it. Like, oh, well, I'm not gonna, it's okay for me to date a white woman because black women just ain't shit. No, it is black women that's not shit. But if I keep looking, they're all black women. They're all shit.
It's about who you choose. Right. Like, cause it's like, right. Cause you have the opportunity to choose who you want to choose.
Correct.
So you could have chose a black woman that's going to treat you like a good person. You could have chose a black man that's going to treat you like a person.
Enough to meet that person.
And this is the part of the conversation where, and I've said on the pod multiple times how I feel. Y'all are more lenient to this than I am. I feel like we need to date black people. I don't feel like we need to date outside the race. If I have kids, I'm going to make it very clear. You need to bring someone that look like me home and look like you home. Yeah. And the reason why I feel that way, at the end of the day, I don't want to have kids with a white woman or anyone outside my race, because if something happens to me and you have to raise my son or daughter, you have to raise them to be black. A white woman cannot raise my sons or daughter to be black. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times when we have these conversations, when we start having political conversations, when we start having conversations on ideology, conversations community, like that's when race matters.
That's when it hits. That's when it hits.
I agree with you.
There's too many successful black women.
Dating another race, but I did not see myself marrying and having children with someone outside of my race. I never even thought about it.
But there's too many black men, successful black women that date outside the race, and then when it comes to certain conversations. And I'm not even going to say certain aspects because I don't want to disrespect them because they're good people overall, but they don't.
You don't know them niggas.
They're not out here doing crazy shit that I see online. But okay, I'll say Saquon Barkley. When it comes to someone like Saquon Barkley, he's never done anything negative. But guess what? He went to the White House with Donald Trump. He's married to a white woman. Guess what? His quarterback, who's married to a black woman, who has a black team around him, did not go to the White House. I think being married to someone that enforces those decisions in your life.
Yeah, if you let it does.
Now there's no way you can be with someone.
Yes, it is.
And y'all don't help mold each other.
It is. It's called a partnership.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all both have to mold each other. Y'all both have to mold each other.
He could be the head of his household and be the person that say that he don't agree with.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not saying he had to go that way. What I'm saying is, if you with someone, y'all both going to help mold each other.
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Now he could have molded her differently.
When you're with somebody, you can be with somebody. You can be with somebody, and y'all can just be partners. And they go think what they go want to think. Yeah. I'm go think what they go think. Yeah. Or I'm go think, and y'all can just be partners and y'all work together. Just the same thing when you at work. When you at work, you have a partner.
What are we talking about when we say think? Because there's certain things.
No,
like if I'm a Christian, you're a Muslim. That we not supposed to be together.
That's a belief. I mean, you can believe that it's better to drink alkaline water, and I can better.
That's so small. But me supporting Trump and you not supporting Trump. Nah, that's doable. That's doable. No. You voting Republican and me voting Democrat.
That's doable.
No, you voting Republican, me voting Democrat is different than you supporting an individual that you should not be supporting.
You can still vote and support him, but not get no money to him.
No. I've never made this whole Trump campaign about red and blue. It's always been about morality. Mm-hmm. It's always been about morality. For me, now we talking about our morals don't align.
Right, that's just your morals then.
But you can still be a partner.
You marry somebody.
But that's what I'm saying.
But you can still be a partner and build a life together.
But I'm saying, like at that moment, then there's something wrong with that marriage if y'all morals ain't aligned.
Yes, but in a Christian way, yes. But and nowadays, marriage is more about partnership.
That's what I'm saying. Then that's something completely different. We talking about something completely different. Then I'm not even having that conversation. If we're talking about marriage as a business or whatever, but that's not how I'm talking about. I'm talking about it. What it's supposed to be.
Yes.
What it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. What they call national aid. I can't. My living aid together. Y'all know what I'm talking about. What's the saying?
Together for better or the worse.
No, the supposed to be Y'all know what I'm talking about. You don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't know the term, unfortunately, man. You know, I in my head, I'm talking about from a spiritual sense of,
and that's what I'm talking about.
We supposed to be one. We supposed to be connected, intertwined,
equally yoked.
Yeah. And we are not equally yoked if our morals is like this.
And that's how it is spiritually. You're supposed to be equally yoked in the spiritual thing.
And if we are, our morals ain't gonna go like this.
But nowadays,
closer like this.
But nowadays, the way the economy is and things like that, it's more of a marriage. Now it's more of a partnership and it's more like a business arrangement.
And if that's how people are getting married, then do your thing. I'm not even mad at you. These are for the people that's trying to be equally yoked to their partner on a spiritually and moral compass. That's why I'm like, from a business perspective, it might make sense to be married to that white woman. But spiritually and morally, nah, man, because you're going to lean this way. Because as a black man, you probably should be like, you know what? Why am I at this White House with this white man after the stuff he done said about black people and after all the stuff that happened and stuff like that?
He didn't go because of her. He went because he wanted to go.
But that's what I'm saying. He probably has that in him.
That's the reason why he's dating the type of woman he dating, because that's the type of stuff he into.
He probably do. He probably has that in him.
So and she for me, mold him.
That's why I would not be with a white woman, because I know I don't align that way. Like for you to be with a white person, you got to show me that this white person is down for the movement, is down for the cause. Mm-hmm. They support black people. They align with everything that we're trying to do as a community. And if that's the case, hey, even though I'm not the biggest fan of it, I would approve that more.
I feel you on that. One. But have you when you was in high school, was there ever a white girl that you liked and was like you could see yourself with?
I ain't never saw
No. So it was.
I've never saw myself with a white woman.
You never liked a white girl?
I thought white woman was attractive. Is that what you're asking?
No, I'm talking about like she talked to you, like you liked her. You never. For you, no.
Man, the closest thing might have been grade school.
You said
I like the Asian girl.
Okay, so for me, I had a white girl that I did like. Yeah. That I did like. It was multiple ones that I did like, and they liked me too. But in my head, it's like I can't be with no white girl. Right. So it's like. So it's stunning my growth as an individual, because I didn't want to date her or in high school. I don't know if you could date in high school, but it screwed. I feel like it's stunted my growth because I really did like her. I could see myself with her, but it's like, but she's white, so no, I can't bring her around the fellas. I can't bring her to the house. I can't do this. But in my heart, yeah, I did like her. Yeah, she did like me. We had good conversations and things like that. But in my head, I couldn't do that. But in hindsight, I'm not taking nothing back. I love everything that I got with my family, but I didn't see nothing wrong with that.
You're right.
Yeah, it takes a special type of white person to be around me, man. Like if you see a white person I'm cool with, like the conversation we was having earlier about the black community, me and MJ had this conversation. I just had that conversation with you. I had that conversation with coworkers. Like there are white people that's not necessarily comfortable around me all the time because I talk about race relations consistently.
Yeah.
And talk about that. So if you see a white person around me that I'm cool with,
but that's now. I'm talking about when I was in high school, it was people that
I grew up in a household that was very proud to be African American, and it was pushed on us in my household to be with black people. It was pushed on me by my grandparents and my mom and my family.
From what age?
Since I was little. I was always reminded that I was black. I was always.
You got to remind that you're black. What does that do?
Even when I was a kid, I was reminded when you walk out here, you black.
So
what they got to do about somebody that like you?
So when I was younger,
or that somebody you like.
So when I was younger,
I'm just saying the household I grew up in, that was a focal point of you're black. You need to be with someone black. We're black people. We need to stick together.
So they talked to you about that in kindergarten,
grade school, not kindergarten, but grade school.
That's crazy. I didn't even have those conversations. I didn't notice. I noticed that we looked different. And I knew it was of different colors, but when it came down to love, it was just who you love is who you love. I didn't even actually ask the question until I was older, like you said, in high school. Granted, I had a white boy that I liked when I was in middle school, but not in high school. But in high school, I remember we were having a conversation, and I said, well, Grammy, what if I dated a white guy? And she said, if he's good to you, I don't care what color he is. I didn't need her approval, but it did feel good to hear someone born in that time period say that, because I expected her to go the opposite direction. And plus, like you said, I've heard her say negative things about my uncles when they dated white women. Mm-hmm. So for her to say, well, I want you to be happy with whoever's going to love you, that don't mean she would be happy if I came in the house with a white man. Mm-hmm. She would be happy for my happiness, but would she have wanted me to be with a black person? Yeah, I know
probably
that.
So.
So the conversation never had to be had. Like I'm pretty sure Levert saying his conversation was with his family. It just never happened. They didn't want me to see.
For me, it never happened either.
Even though I was taught to love and appreciate our people,
yes,
I wasn't taught to think that I remember on college campus, one of my roommate, white girl, she told us that her dad was in town coming to fix her car, do something with her car, and my ex at the time and my homeboy, we was all at the dorm room, and she was like, yeah, y'all gotta go. She didn't even want to tell her dad that I was her roommate and I was a black woman. Mm. She knew who he was. She knew how his apps. And then when she talked to us about it later on, she was like, yeah, I was just always taught, the bluebirds were the bluebirds and the redbirds were the redbirds. And for her to give that analogy, that means she was taught that from an early age. Mm. Regardless of her being cool and wanting to hang out with other nationalities, she knew that he was expecting her not to even hang out with black people. Mm. So it's kind of like, it depends on how you, from the early ages of it. It don't make it wrong, right, or indifferent. I think it's different case by case, like this with family by family.
Yeah.
But I do believe that we are and should be with our people for the simple fact that that's what.
Until we get to a point in this country.
I feel that way too.
I do think we're supposed to be with our people.
Until we can get to a point in this country, for me, where we have true equality amongst all the races, I do not want to see us dating outside the race because there's so much stuff that's going on. And to your point, Nicole, there was older cousins I had, even a brother that brought white women around, and it was always discouraged, it's always disparaged. Like right. When you get to a stage, you're gonna do what the fuck you want to do. Right. But the fact that it wasn't still me as I was younger, it gave me a sense of pride in being black, and it made me like growing up. I always liked the darker women. Like me and MJ, she always liked lighter skinned women. I would always like darker skinned women. Like, I was taught that being black is beautiful. I can't stress that enough. Like, it was really imposed in my household by my grandparents. One is from Alabama, family in Mississippi that saw stuff during that time period. Mm-hmm. He's in his 80s. My grandma passed away right at 80, saw stuff that she saw. It was really imposed to us. Like, yo, man, being black is a privilege, it's an honor, it's beautiful. We got beautiful people. We got beautiful skin. I got people in my family that's from Alabama and other parts in Georgia that's darker than me. Like, I never looked at, oh, you dark, you a tall baby and stuff like that. I always thought that was beautiful to me. Now, there was people of other races I was attracted to, but I never for once in my life had a notion of, yo, I would like to be with this individual, because I always looked at it like, what would be the long-term ramifications of that? Like, what would it be like to be with someone of the opposite race, where it's like, how am I going to be able to express to them that I had this racist moment going on, and they don't try to belittle it. Yeah. They don't try to be like, oh man, that wasn't racist. You think too much about it. Or we have a child and they be like, oh, they teach their child this and that. And I see online all the time of people who come from mixed families and they say, yeah, I had a father that was white or a mother that was white.
But that's newer days.
Their family was, racist or whatever and stuff like that. And those are things that actually happen. Or you have Holly Berry who just got divorced not so long ago and got to pay alimony and child support, and she gonna come online, which I did not feel sorry for her, by the way. It's hard for me to pay a white man that calls me nigger.
That's crazy.
But that's real. Like, when you with these people, because you in love with them and you infatuated, you overlook a lot of the bullshit.
But like I said, those are new age things, because before you was born, it was just you love who you love. Lots of times, there's so many black people that's around here that's married to Filipinos and Vietnam people and so many other things. And
black love was always pushing the black community, but you've always had black people that strayed away. A lot of the Black Panther Party promoted.
It was always
being
pushed.
With your people.
It's always pushed, yes, but I'm just saying it's also another end to it.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here without all that mixing.
It's always another end to it. So I understand like that, but you can't. If you have a kid and they love a person that's, I understand it. Like, yeah, you probably want what you want. But you gonna get what you gonna get too.
Hey man, I mean,
and you got to deal with it.
Hey, that's that shit that parents say, talking about, if my kid gay, I'm just gonna be happy. No, fuck that.
You got to deal with it.
Fuck that.
So how you gonna have to deal with it, right? So what you gonna do? You gonna kill him?
Fuck that.
You got to deal with it, right?
We don't promote that kind of thing.
You gonna have to deal with it, right?
No, we don't promote that.
So what you gonna do then?
Because that's a choice.
So what you gonna do? So what you gonna do? So what you gonna do?
You gonna
have to deal with it.
Between you and your child.
We're gonna raise our kids a certain way.
You gonna have to deal with it.
To believe
exactly. You've raised them now. Now they grown.
You gonna have to deal with it.
And come to your house
and it's gonna be known that that's not okay.
And you gonna have to deal with it. Exactly.
No, I don't have to deal with your
child.
Hey man. Hey.
You don't have to.
It is what it is at that point.
But you still gonna have to deal with it.
But
you gotta deal with it.
Especially if they get married and have kids.
I can't make you do anything. You grown.
It's not even they grown. They can be a teenager. You gonna have to deal with it.
They live in my house.
Yeah, you got to deal with it.
Then you're not dating nobody. You're not dating on the same sex as you. Then
you gonna have to deal with it.
No, you're not going.
How you gonna control it?
Okay, conversion camp.
How you gonna have to deal with it?
Conversion camp.
That sounds crazy. You're not gonna do that to your child.
Conversion camp.
You can send them there, and you still have to deal with it. So who paying for the conversion camp? You still dealing with it.
Conversion camp where they're gonna be out there molesting them, beating on them, and everything.
You still dealing with it.
Something into them.
You still dealing with it.
We're gonna figure that out.
You're gonna have to deal with it. That's all I'm saying. You ain't gotta like it, but you still gotta deal with it.
Yeah, that's how you want to word it, man.
And that's how it is.
Man. We believe in God over here. We ain't going for none of that shit.
You still got to deal with it.
We believe in God over here.
God ain't gonna say you still got to deal with it.
Yeah, now God save everyone. Now we ain't gonna talk like that.
He not gonna be okay because you believe in me.
Yeah,
you gonna have a even life.
No, God ain't gonna give you an even life.
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna have to deal with it.
God will give you the tools to deal with the situation.
You're gonna have to deal with it. Exactly what I just said. You have to deal with it.
No.
And when
God would deal with it. I would pray to God for God to deal with it.
Yeah, and when he deal with it, maybe him dealing with it is dealing with you and accepting your child just for who they
God
is.
ain't gonna have me accept that. Because God's not gonna have you accept no foolishness. God ain't gonna have you accept no foolishness. God ain't gonna have you accept no.
I'm trying to figure out when God told you couldn't be with somebody of the opposite sex, or not the opposite sex, the opposite religion, or not the opposite of religion. Let's just keep it funky. She Christian and you Christian, but she white and you black. What's wrong with that?
Ain't nothing wrong with that from a spiritual standpoint. I never said nothing wrong from a spiritual standpoint.
So God ain't gonna answer your prayers over you coming to him asking him, am I supposed to be with this white woman? What he gonna tell you?
Man, when it comes to the race, hey man, I'm gonna do the best I can to raise my kid. Once they get to a certain age, they do what they do. That's something completely different. Now, when it comes to homosexuality,
that's a different.
That's
story.
A whole conversation. You talking to I'm 10 toes down.
I didn't
Christian.
mean to say sexuality.
We weren't talking about no homosexuals and things like that.
But that was mentioned. It was mentioned at some point. So I was talking about that.
I'm talking about color of somebody's skin.
But at that point, it's like, hey man,
somebody's really.
You got to deal with it.
It's gonna be taught to them like, yo, this is what I want. This is what we should do. Then once you become 18 or whatever, I can't make you date whoever you want to date. Like if you want to date somebody outside the race, it's cool, bro. Like do what you want to do. I honestly like unless they can pass my test, then you don't need to bring that white man or that white woman around me. Don't bring no white person around me that I got to question, do they like black people or not? Because it's because the conversation we didn't even touch on, the fact that it's a lot of white people out here that fetishize black people.
Yeah.
They don't love black people. Because there's a lot of white men who date black women, but they don't love, but they have ill will to black men. And there's a lot of white women, even more white women, who will date black men, but they can't stand black women.
And I understand what you're saying. It just sounds crazy because for me, it just sounds crazy, but I understand what you're saying because some things you know what I'm saying. I always say it.
This shit sound over me.
You always can control who you want to control. You know what I'm saying? You only can control what you can control. So it's like when you start tossing things around like that, things like that, it's like, yeah, I understand what your beliefs are and things like that, but also like,
but the beliefs don't have nothing to do with the race. So we ain't got to touch the
that's your belief. That's your deep seated.
We talking about religious beliefs.
I'm not talking about a religious belief. It's a belief of a belief. A belief is a belief.
And then all I can do is just raise my kids, teach them to be proud to be black. Because it's one thing to just be like, yo, you should be black.
I don't know. The narrative, I guess the question I have is, does it make me not proud to be black if I wanted to marry a Samoan? But what is the Rock? What is the Rock's nationality? Eastern Pacific Islander or something like that? If I wanted to marry a Pacific Islander, he's not white, but he ain't black either.
You lose points, but that don't mean you're not proud to be black.
I lose no points.
I'm saying in my eyes, you lose points, but that don't make you down.
But then that's when you assume the responsibility of trying to play God in someone's life. You can't do that. That's when you get to choose. You can't be someone's judge and jury.
I'm just saying,
based off the nationality of the person that they date.
If you black and you fighting for the black cause, and you with someone that's black, you a platinum member. Now, if you black, you fighting for the black cause, and you with someone of a different race, you might be gold status. Like, I still respect the fact that you support black people, that you love black people, but you didn't make the ultimate decision to tie yourself with a black. That's the ultimate decision you can make, is to tie yourself. Because we talked about generational wealth tonight. We talked about building the black community and stuff. Well, guess what? Even if you want to look at it as a business transaction, if you got pride in your black community, guess what? You need to marry someone that looks like you to keep all that wealth. We talked about a conglomerate or whatever. So where all the money can stay in a little city, town, that's what it is. If I marry you, Nicole, when we have kids, they black, we both black, they inherit all that. But if I marry a white woman and I have wealth and she has wealth and I die, now that wealth can get dispersed to different communities or whatever.
Yeah, but they will all be from your line of your generation of your kids and your grandkids. So it matters whether or not they got a taint of blood in them that's a different nationality than you when it's still your legacy that you created.
If I die last, yes. But if I die and my wife inherits it, and let's say she decides to remarry someone white and then she has white kids and I'm marrying a white woman.
Child, you going down a rabbit hole.
No, but this is what happens though. A lot of times these black athletes or black celebrities be with white women, divorce, and then what happens? Like Tiger Woods' wife, they get with someone that's white, and now I'm over here paying you alimony, I'm paying you all this other stuff. You have kids from this other individual, and they're entitled to some of that wealth that I got to pay you every month. Like that happens. Like we start dividing our wealth into different parts. That's why when you look at it, I'm gonna say this: when you look at the Anglo-Saxon whites and the WASPs, for those who know who the WASPs, I know C's do. Like one of the things that they do, they make sure we're gonna marry within money, we're gonna marry within white. You have to be of money. Like in One Battle or Another, when that scene with Sean Penn, where he was trying to join that club, that wasn't just for the movie. That's real life. It's a reason why them upper echelon white people make it a priority to marry other white people that have money, because you need to maintain that infrastructure. And we don't do that in the community. We be too quick to give it away by man outside our race.
So we got the final thoughts going on. Nicole, you got any final thoughts?
Nah, man. I needed to rain outside. My pollen. Listen, Claritin ain't doing shit for me no more. I'm taking Claritin like vitamins, and the pollen is real heavy. So I hope it rains within the next week or so. Stay black. Take your allergy medicine. Yeah, that's all I got. What about you?
Vertizi.
Hey, shoot, tonight, man, we was sipping on something called Greenwood whiskey. You know, they out of Decatur. They are black-owned whiskey. You know, we always going to try to promote black businesses, black love, black everything, man. So, shout out to all the people in the alcoholic industry that's trying to make strides to become a brand themselves. This is an individual who is from Decatur, makes the whiskey, and we saw him all the way in Augusta, Georgia. That's a 2-hour drive that this individual made to promote his whiskey. And a lot of times as black people, what we don't understand about supporting black businesses, understand how hard they got to work. Because a white person probably wouldn't have had to do all that to promote it. But black people, sometimes we have to make it, and we have to be the employees too. So we're the employer and the employees, man. So shout out to that individual, man. We're going to try to put the link on our Instagram, our TikTok, and other stuff, so y'all can go and follow them and hopefully, purchase their whiskey. In the words of Airbnb Rakim, peace.
Yes, man. Please catch that at the Nest Light, or you can catch that at the liquor store, get some of that Greenwood. You know what I'm saying? But I'm back quiet.
Mr. DJ Rose, Vertizi, and C's, welcome you to the No More Black Tears podcast.
Black tears that's heaven sent. Barack the first black president. I love my black skin. I love walking in black excellence. Black power, let's represent. All black, that's evident. I'm sure MLK and Malcolm X both didn't die for the hell of it. Strap your seatbelt, go and settle land. What makes you think that we would sell our land? We wouldn't sell our land. What makes you think that we would go ahead and try to sell out then? No more black tears, black on black kids. Love us as is, love with passion. Paying black bills, learning black skills, making black meals. Black is backing. Big shout out to Fred Hampton. I'm black and proud like I'm James Brown, but I ain't doing no acting. My people here from the motherland. This podcast now active.